You're tuned into Raw Brilliance with Mansa J. We got a live one for y'all today.
JK!
Ain't no thing, just trying to maintain through these times that we got going on. What's going on with you, Miss Song?
Indubitably, we have some times ahead of us. I think I'm in a special zone right now. I'm in a creative bubble. I'm taking advantage of this time.
A bubble, huh?
I'm in a bubble, because I can't work because, as a musician, every job, every side job, and every musical job that I have requires being with people. I'm a people person when it comes to that. So, so catering and restaurant business and bartending and all that, no work. So I'm at home in my other work, and I'm just amazed at the amount of work there is to do because I'm building content. So I'm in a creative bubble and I'm letting myself do it as I feel it. You know what I mean? So I wake up, no plan. If I feel like writing a song, I'll write a song. Get tired of writing a song, stop and film something. If I'm tired of filming, I'll stop and edit something, So I'm not like jumping on the lives, except for this is unique because it's more of an interview. We chit-chatting about stuff, but like a lot of musicians are jumping on to perform live. And I think that if you don't already have your audience built up online, you're going to be in a lot of competition with other musicians. I think it's a better time to create content.
Yeah.
What you been up to?
Pretty much on that same thing, just trying to stay creative, trying to find new ideas, different articles to write, different
You're writing articles now.
Yeah, well, I've always been a writer. Like that's my main deal. So more so it's screenplays and like stuff like that, or commercials, or just things of that nature. And so, but yeah, articles. I just love to write in general. So I got a website, and I write most of the articles on there, and most of the content that's on there is made and produced by me in some sort of way. So
do you think that your next few articles will be that COVID-19 will have some kind of reflection in that? Or, I mean, not about the disease itself, but as you write about the culture of hip hop and music, do you think that this is going to affect what you write about or how the articles come about?
Oh, most definitely. It's affected pretty much since this begun. I've mentioned it or referenced to the pandemic in some sort of way. So yeah, it definitely affects it.
That's what I think.
You can't really miss it right now though, because
I think we're gonna be talking about this for the next 50 to 100 years.
We'll probably be talking. It depends on how long it lasts. But
even if it ended tomorrow, we have, well, in my opinion, even if it ended tomorrow, we have already changed or made the jump. The transition to me from real life to digital or internet, it's been happening for the last 20 years, right? And the last 10 years it's taken off. Some people have jumped on and realized what it is. In the last 5 years, another group of people jumped on. And I think now with the pandemic, everybody else who were like, I'm not into that, they're trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah. I was just talking with my homeboy who's a DJ. He was on the show the other day, and we were talking about how it's because he's a DJ and clubs are closed down. So and we were talking about how it's affected them in their career and their how they're making moves and finding different ways to make money and stuff like that. And he's also a barber too. So he was telling me about how he had both his avenues of income cut off. But
I think that's the case for most people who are entertainers or performers or in this business. If you have side businesses, a lot of us choose side businesses that are flexible enough to work with our art, right?
Yeah.
So cutting hair, you can do that on your own, on your own time. You can make your own schedule. A beautician can make their own schedule. Yeah. What I do in catering, you can make your own schedule, stuff like that. But if you work a 9-to-5 job, it's different. So yeah, so I feel for him because as far as DJs too, online, there's so many DJs online, right now trying to do that live thing, that it must be difficult on top of copyright. Did he say anything to you about copyright? Because a lot of my friends, their lives are getting shut down.
Because they're trying to do the songs and stuff like that aren't theirs? Or
Yeah, because they're DJs, so they're playing other people's music.
oh, and they're just getting shut down from the mixes and stuff. Well, yeah, I could see that. I figure that's kind of messed up though, because if they playing the hits or whatever, it's just like a club. Like you don't go to every club and tell them what to play or whatever. As long as they're not like promoting.
No, but the
things
clubs
with it.
pay royalties.
The clubs pay royalties. How so?
Clubs pay monthly royalties as part of if you have live shows and music that plays, like on CDs or whatever in your restaurants. I don't know how it's done, but there's a payment. You know what I mean? So like royalties go in. Like either DJs are supposed to submit their songs, their playlists that they play, so that the artists that the music that they're playing is supposed to get paid. I don't know how that works. I should research that. That should be something we research and talk about, because I want to know exactly how it's done. But that's going to change.
It's going to change?
It's got to change because as an artist, I get paid for my online songs. Like when somebody plays a video on YouTube from a song of mine, or it's just like the algorithms are written to recognize the songs. It's just like Shazam. When you use Shazam, it just hears a few notes.
Yeah.
It can tell you the name of the song and the artist. That works.
So is this something in the club that like is like Shazam? So every time a song is played, it knows where to send the money to? Because I don't know
how it works in clubs exactly. But some clubs, I guess it depends on the club and the club size and how well known it is. But
because I never really heard that, because I'm from like small town, so we got like a bunch of juke joints and holes on the walls and stuff like that, and it's like I know they not paying royalties, so no labels or nothing, because it just be random people in there with a phone and some speakers so they're hooked up to the phone, and an iPod or something like that.
It's true, but then that reach is limited. The reach is only limited to the people who are in that club at that time. When you're online and you're playing a set, the reach is different, because once that live is done, the video exists and somebody can play it over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's radio. It's so, unless you're submitting. I mean, I don't know the rules, and definitely it's a topic I'm going to research and try to find somebody who might have the answers. We should probably interview somebody who has the answers to that.
Yeah.
There are some DJs who are able to do it because they submit their playlists, and they have, and I know when you have a major DJ who's getting paid like $30,000 or $40,000 for an event, and you get 4,000 people that show up, his playlist for the night, those artists get paid for that because he submits that. That's part of a show. He's responsible, or she's responsible for submitting that to BMI, ASCAP, etc.
I'm gonna text my homeboy who does lives on Twitter and stuff, and I'm asking him if he has to pay royalties for.
It wouldn't come out of his. I don't know if it would come out of his pocket directly, or if he has a big enough following that whatever, like if he's monetized himself, if a portion of his monetization goes to those artists or not.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I think that's probably going to be part of the new way.
It'll be smart, because they always trying to find ways to tax artists, or like trying to find ways to get money out of whoever it is, whether it's the artist or the customer. So yeah, I would imagine them trying to find some way to like charge, even if you're saying that they already do though, and it got to be some type of way, because I know you can't play certain songs on YouTube without paying royalties, but I just don't know how the live mixes work. Like,
but even in the live mixes, they on YouTube, when you go on live, and if it's a major label song and it recognizes it, the YouTube will cut your live in the middle of your live.
So like, what about like songs like Drake's new song, Tootsie or whatever it's called, where they get songs like on TikTok and they turn them into dances and stuff. Or the artist getting paid off every time a kid
So,
makes one of those songs on the video.
so what happened is because of copyright laws, part of the copyright law is you can use 5 seconds of a song. So, so an app called Musically existed which is kind of fashioned a little bit after Vine, where you can make 5-second clips lip syncing your favorite artist's songs because the 5 seconds are allowed, right?
Yeah.
5 to 10 seconds, something like that. And then TikTok bought Musically, and so it became just a big lip syncing app with kids that eventually turned into the dancing routines. And, you know, people evolve when they get bored of doing something. So they were able to get through that because those songs were in a bank that they collected. And in that bank that they collected, you can choose from those songs, right? I think that they have, because of monetization and the ads and the amount of people on it, those artists are getting paid for that. You know what I mean? So every time you take a song from that's already in the bank and you lip sync to it, that artist is getting paid for it, but you have permission to do it because it's 5 seconds long. It's different. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm curious as to songs like that aren't in the bank, because when I first tried TikTok, I was like putting my own songs in and trying to do videos to my own songs, so that my songs would be in and maybe somebody would like the song and then want to do their own video. I was hoping that would happen, but you know, I'm not a kid or cool.
Yeah.
And somehow all of my videos on TikTok got erased. My whole account of videos, so I have to start over.
You had a TikTok?
I still have a TikTok, yeah.
For real? Like you be doing the dances on there too?
No. I was not doing the kid version. I was just putting up clips of my videos, you know. I was just trying it out. I still don't know how to use my personality yet within TikTok, because I have to be me. I can't be doing what everybody else is doing.
I never really I used to hear about it like all the time, like probably about like 6-7 months ago.
I was telling you about it when we went to South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Because I made a TikTok. We made some TikToks while we were there. Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was in the TikTok. Look at that.
Oh no, you weren't in it. I made the TikToks of the little. You remember the bobbleheads?
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I made one of each of those. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I want to show you something. Tell me, can you see this screen? You probably can't see it, huh?
Yeah, I can see it.
Or maybe I should do it up close like that. I want to show you something because I'm curious. This is like, I saw this online on Instagram. I saw it on It's Ramel's page, but this is the choir, the mass choir, and they're all at home singing the song, and it's being directed. You know, this is Sunday church. And it's so beautiful. Can you even hear it?
No, not really.
Okay. But I was wondering if that is the new place where we're going, or, you know.
I don't know if it's going to be like the new place that we're going, because once we're able to leave the house again, people are going to be back meeting up in studios and stuff and doing personal things face-to-face and encounters again, because everybody misses it. Like, just on human nature, we need that face-to-face and
contact.
Yeah, contact and interaction. But it's very smart though, and it's just a testament to how far technology has came and the things we could do. Because when I was in like junior high and stuff, that's like some futuristic movie stuff, and then like it just took off. So, but to be able to do that, I wonder if they already had pre-recorded and the video is more of a show, like it's like they're just singing to like a tape or something, you know? Or
it might be them singing to the tape, but they all seem so into it differently. So maybe it was to a tape and then they performed to the tape their part. You know, I can totally believe that.
Yeah, I could too. But you know, if you watch movies and like the people in the background of the scene or whatever, they're just like mouthing, but it looks like it's
no,
really,
no, you're right. I think they did, but I think they're most likely lip syncing. You know, I'm curious, and now I have to go research that to find out.
Because it's just like, it's possible though, but just to sound good and clear, to come through a phone, you're FaceTiming somebody, and then it has to be recorded through another third party.
They're on laptops. They're on laptops in their homes.
Yeah, they're
I
on
bet
laptops.
if we sang together right now a song that we both know and we know our parts, and and we started singing at the same time, it could line up.
But with no interruptions between a choir of like 16 different feeds coming in, and then, but see, that's not the only part. You got a camera that's recording that on top of it. So now you got another source, another feed like that could interrupt anything.
It's true.
And it's a lot. And for it to go perfectly.
He's talking about this video here where all these people are singing in this video here. And yeah, it's most likely pre-recorded and then they did their parts. But still, I love it. I love the idea of it because it was beautifully made. And it just made me realize that, we are truly transitioning into the next phase. And this COVID-19, I think, is pushing us to do it faster.
Yeah, it's like just bringing the technology because the government got before we see anything, the government's had it for like 5 or 10 years. You know what I mean? Yeah, or 20. So I think they're just bringing technology out that's already been there that now we have a reason to use it and really exercise it. So I think certain companies are getting rich or making money off of this, and it's good for a lot of companies who are, like things like this with like live feeds and stuff like Zoom or like other different streaming services and stuff, or
even Twitch. Do you know Twitch?
I do know Twitch. I was just talking with my homeboy about that too, about Twitch, because he does like gaming and stuff on Twitch, and he does like live sets on Twitch too.
Yeah, and I was reading yesterday an ad from Twitch that's like Instagram is crashing and YouTube is lagging, but Twitch is totally prepared for the volume of people because it's worldwide and they've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. They're like, we won't drop you. You won't be no problem. You should come do it on Twitch. And I was like, I need to check it out. I'm on Twitch, and I have one video game that I like to play, but I'm hesitant to put it on my computer because if I do, I'll start playing and then I won't get any work done.
What game is it?
Sims. I'm a Sims girl.
That's like the woman's go-to game. Like, y'all love that game. I don't even understand it. It's like fake fun. Life. It's fake real life.
No, it's just building little families. It's like watching, because in your lifetime, if it's ever I can't speak for all women. I can just talk about for me.
You building a family on it?
You build generations. You can build generations of families.
Oh, now
so you can watch it from grandpa. When you play one game long enough, you can have like great grandchildren, and the grandpa's dying. You remember the start of how the couple started their beginning, and then you watch their story go. And in real life, that takes time to do that. Obviously, experience that. But it's interesting that because you build their personalities as babies and stuff, and then their personality as an AI game takes over for themselves, and there are things and decisions that they make to do on their own based on what you decided at the beginning. So
it's like a real okay.
So it's a simulation. So it's interesting. So I mean, and because they have so many different things that you can do, you can create like I had a whole generation of crime family. I had a whole crime family that went from all the way down to third generation or fourth generation, and they all did crime, and they all was like evil thinkers but masterminds and had skills. It was very interesting to watch the game take that information and make it into like an animated series kind of.
Yeah, I used to play this game called Dungeons and Dragons, but it was
I remember Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it was like when I was a kid, and I got into it because it was like you had to build your character up and get them to a certain point and then show or whatever.
But see, and that wasn't even online, so that was like imagination.
That's exactly what it was, because you had a pen and some paper and you saved your score and kept it and totaled it with you, but it wasn't no like cell phones to keep the score in. Like it was on a piece of paper. Like y'all had a tablet with all y'all characters in it and building them up.
So wait, we just thought of a new idea if it doesn't exist.
What's
Sims should make a Dungeons and Dragons version of Sims and I bet they have a whole line of men.
That'd get weird though, because Sims is like a family. Like you building families and generations.
No, but I mean, if you're a programmer and you're building, you don't build it exactly like Sims. You build it the way that Dungeons and Dragons builds itself. But since it's a simulation game, you can, put the parts together. I wonder if it already exists.
Wait, are you mean like turn Dungeons and Dragons into like a game on a computer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure they probably have that.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. No,
I haven't played since like I haven't played since junior high, so it's been a while.
That's how old it is.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Sims still existed, but when I went on Twitch,
I didn't either.
Went to check it out, I saw Sims on there, and I was like, "Oh, it's still on there."
Yeah, it'd be girls on like Twitter and stuff always talking about like their Sims family and stuff.
I like Quake too, but that's an old game.
Who?
Quake.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I played that.
It's a fighter game, a shooting game.
No, I don't know Quake.
Well, that's it for my video game. For my video game knowledge.
Experience, yeah. My homeboy just texted me back and told me that he don't pay royalties like for his mixes and stuff. So I guess it's like maybe if it's like a super huge fee, like if somebody's a DJ with millions of followers or something, like maybe like a DJ Envy or someone like that, or DJ Khaled, might have to pay.
I think that's going to change. I think it's going to change because more and more people are leaving the radio and going online, and lots of people are DJing and building their personalities off of DJing. Me as an artist, I'm thankful when a DJ plays my music in his or her set, because whoever their audience is getting to discover my music,
Yeah.
But if I had a bigger brand and they were using me to pull people into them and making money off of it, I would probably be upset. So it's like a really weird kind of balance, where music is right now. I think it's turning into a utility.
But like on live, are you if it's playing in the background, like that could be on the radio. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you can get copyright strikes for that on YouTube as well.
Yeah, you can if you're playing like, well, most mixes are just like, it's not the whole song. Like if you're like maybe like playing the whole song in like a promotional video or something. But if you just
there is a guy or 2 or 3 DJs who are online who have a 24-hour live stream. I think he's called Lo-Fi. And I read an article, and I don't know exactly how they got around the copyrights.
Wait a minute. So he says online 24 hours, like he's streaming himself 24 hours?
24/7. He streams. He puts his cartoon. He puts this cartoon up as the character on it. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's called Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio.
Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio.
That you can study to. And so they've been taken down a couple times, and they keep coming back up. And they have, like right now he's live streaming. He has 43,900 people on his live. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a little cartoon that he has in the background. This one's called Chilled Cow. And I don't know how they get away with it, because they're playing music that people write, and some of it is just that producer tracks with no lyrics, and some of it is actual hip hop,
I don't know. We'll have to look at some copyright rules like through YouTube and like break it down. There got to be a way, but for them to get paid off of it.
It's pretty cool too. Like the songs are. It's just chill. But somebody wrote this.
Okay. I don't know. But he getting away with it, so he must found a loophole. If he got that many followers, ain't been took off. So
he has 5.18 million followers. And he's got 43,000 people in the stream right now. And so anyway, I read an article on them. That's why I even have it. That's why I even know about them. So there's a way around it, but they kept getting pulled down off of YouTube and then they would put up another page, you know. And every time they tried to put anything other than the cartoon up, people would complain about it. People like the little anime in the background while they listen to the music. So I'm interested in that. I'm interested in all of these new technologies.
So is it his anime or is it somebody else?
Anime. I don't know whose anime it is. He uses anime, and then you listen to the music. It's interesting, you know. I mean, there is a lot of stuff going down, you know. Like I said, I have a proposal for you, Mansa JK. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in to the Raw Brilliance Media, I'm here. I'm OcSong, the Soul Singer, guesting on Raw Brilliance Media show with Mansa JK in his house. Thank you for having me, by the way.
Oh, for sure. You butchered that name, though.
Did I? Then I gotta do it again. Thank God you're editing.
Am I editing? Oh, no, I ain't gonna edit this. It's gonna be a straight string. It's cool. Nah, it was the name was right. It's Raw Brilliance, but yeah, it's just Raw Brilliance. You can leave the media off. That's for like that's like the umbrella that everything is under.
See, that's what always confuses me, right? I'll be learning stuff and I'll be like, I don't want to mess up nothing, you know?
Yeah, no. It's all good. It's all the name.
Details.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I wanted to say is that what I was proposing to you, or what I wanted to propose to you, is the idea that, you know, you as a filmmaker, and you're an awesome filmmaker with great ideas, I would like to write a story, and since we're live, we can tell the world, maybe they can do the same story, and it'd be interesting to see how we all have something different. But I originally asked you to do 3 of my old songs, and then we can make a story, right? Now I came across this producer who has these little short beats that I like, so I'm gonna pick 5, 6, 7 of those beats and write something short to them. Mm-hmm. But I would like to do a story, a love story, or maybe 2 people who started dating right before COVID, or a couple that was together but broke up and are forced to be apart, or I don't know. I'm interested in that, and I know that you write.
Yeah.
We could shoot something interesting,
Like yeah, I was just telling you to send me the songs. Like
I'm writing them now. I'm writing them right now.
Are you writing new songs?
I'm writing new songs.
About the 3 old songs that you were telling me.
Yeah, I still want to shoot those videos, like just regular videos. But I was like, I would like to do a whole new project with you, so that the whole thing is we go through it, all the process kind of together.
Yeah.
And I wrote the first little song, and each song is going to be 1 minute long. So I wrote the first one, and I want to write 3 or 4 more before I send them to you, so that you can kind of get an idea. But even if you just started writing on anything, I can look at something you're writing and then kind of write a song based around that. Because whatever it is, basically going to be just me, I suppose, unless we find another actor. If your friend, if your girl acts, she can be in a thing.
No, but I can get an actor though. I found some resources in Austin finally, like where I can go and audition actors and pluck actors here and there. It was just hard trying to find a kid actor for my little short that I was shooting. But yeah, absolutely. So the kid actor was hard to find just because
kids and animals.
And yeah, but the parents too, man. It's just like just trying to get it all right. But hopefully after this all over, I can start shooting that, man. I was really excited to do some things before all of this started happening. I had some things for South by Southwest coming up, and I had the short that I was going to be shooting. I was just getting the capital for that, to get it all my equipment and everything secured, and then we got hit with a whole pandemic and 20.
But look at you, you're still working. You know how many people at home are not working? They're just Netflix and chilling right now. They don't realize you put the work in still. It has forced you to focus on another part of your business, because you are an all-around media company. So this is another part that you kind of have to focus on at the moment, because that's basically what you can do.
Most definitely. And I'm always going to keep trying to improve in something. So I can't just sit around, But yeah, the writing deal, that's just getting back into that, writing articles and stuff. And because I do want to write a book, in the next few years. So I need to start getting back more in that format because I write screenplays and stuff, and that's a different format than like book format, you know, from screenplays and books. So like even if you adapt a book into a screenplay, you gotta most likely you gotta change some things because book authors don't write in screenplay form. And so it's just trying to get back, and writing articles helps me get back in that kind of like structure of like writing a book and telling a story in a different type of way. So I'm just trying to develop and keep on trying to find new books to read to broaden my horizon. So I've been scouring the internet trying to find different books that have helped like enlighten me on different things. Not really like inspirational or money books, more like just things to make me think. Like money books, I've read all of them and stuff, but that's cool.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get 2 books that I think I'm gonna loan you, but I'm gonna show you real quick.
2 books, all right. I'm down for that. Yeah, so we are here with OcSong, and y'all know me,
OcSong.
Mansa J. This is Raw Brilliance. I'd like to thank all y'all for joining me and joining us. We're just sitting here having a discussion about books and bettering ourselves and the climate that we're in right now.
The book I want to show you, I gotta find it.
Yeah.
The book I want to show you is called Nat Turner. So I have to find that book on Nat Turner. But you know, Nat Turner was one of the slaves that believed in leading the way of fighting it, and like well, we're gonna go down anyway, so I'm gonna go down fighting.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is an old story. This story is called Mumia. You know this one? Mumia Abu Jamal. So back in the 80s, you know, the story goes way back where he got put in prison for accused of killing police. And there's proof that many people said they have proof that he wasn't there and he didn't do it. And this is a book that I bought while I was in college, and he's still in prison. You know, I don't remember his story. If he's on death row. No,
what was he in prison for again?
He was accused of murdering police officers.
In America?
In America.
Where?
So anyway, this is a good book. It's been so long since I read this. I think it was either New York or Philadelphia, up on the East Coast somewhere.
Oh, what's the name of the book?
Live from Death Row.
Live from Death Row. Okay.
So it's a good read. It's a quick read. It's easy. That'd be something that I think would be an interesting thing to write about. And then this one is called The Arbitrary of Justice. Now, this book is by one of my favorite people, and it's by Angela Davis.
Okay.
And this book is a difficult read. So this book I have to read a couple times because she is a very, very profound writer, you know, and this is about lawmaking and how people are talking about voting and changing things through other people's, but one of the number one way to change something is through lawmaking, you know?
Yeah.
And we need to do that. So that's 2 books. And the other 2 books I'll mention in the next time. You already know that Malcolm X, my Malcolm X book is so old, I have to cover it for the autobiography of Malcolm X. But those other 2 books, like the Mumia book, really interesting. Could be interesting conversation.
Yeah. I've read the autobiography of Malcolm X. I haven't read the Live from Death Row one, but I was just Googled the dude and it said he was a journalist in Philadelphia.
Yes, Philadelphia. So I couldn't remember if it was East Coast, New York or Philadelphia. Yeah, you know, and so that's the thing, you know, and the book it's a good read. I can't remember because it's been so many years now what has happened, but you know, I'm not sure if he was actually put to death or if he's still alive, and that's a shame. That shows that sometimes we get so attached to a story, and then so much goes on, you move on to the next story, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And then other stories get lost and somebody's got to stand there and make you remember the story. Don't forget Mumia. Don't forget this fight. It still exists for us. We're still experiencing this.
But that right there, that's how like the government like gets away with a lot of things because they know everything, every story is just like a 24-hour news cycle now. So like everything happens so fast now, media is so everywhere right now on your face. It's like it's a new story that's gonna be out in a day that's gonna make you forget about that. And that's
And
why
I think
Trump is
that
getting away with what he's getting away with and stuff like that. Because no
I
one
think I think by coming in and yelling fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news so much, and then actually throwing some fake news in there makes people doubt all the news, which is what the problem is. I'm at that point where everything I see on Facebook, I'm just like, ugh. Like, for example, the 5G. I'm so just want to pull my hair out with this 5G conspiracy that it's not an actual flu, it's the 5G, it's radiation poisoning, they're lying to you. And my sister's a nurse and she's telling me, no, you can see this virus under a microscope, you know what I mean? And you can see that it's an actual virus, it's not radiation poisoning,
I dive into conspiracies and stuff. The 5G one, not really, but I can see why people think like it's not what the government says it is. So
it's not what the government says it is. It is dangerous, but but how they're connecting it. Let me tell you, because I've had several stories, but the one that topped the cake for me is that the COVID-19 virus is a man-made disease in China that is activated by 5G radio, or no, there's a man-made virus in China that will spread worldwide, and they will let it spread worldwide until people get so scared about it and so nervous about it because people will keep dying that they will be forced sort of to take a vaccine. And in this vaccine, there's supposed to be a chip that Bill Gates created that's small enough to be injectable through a vaccine. And once they inject this vaccine in you and you have the chip, then the 5G will be what activates the chip. And that's how they can follow you.
I wouldn't put it past them.
No, I was like, that's pretty good. Y'all putting it together. This sounds like a real good movie.
Oh yeah, definitely sound like a good movie. I don't know. I know I'm not taking no. I don't know. I don't trust governments. I don't trust doctors. I don't really like. I know it's gonna be like a bad thing to say, like not bad to say, but I don't want people to take this wrong. Like I don't really trust white people, like in general, but like I respect a lot of them, and I have white friends and stuff like that, and I
understand the preface because what you mean is we live in a country that is predominantly white, and it is predominantly white people that have told us things that turned out to be untrue or untrue for us. So they promise one thing and then take it back. And so we have a history of being lied to and mistreated. So not having trust, I understand it, but what I do love about you, even though you might not trust certain things, you are open and willing to talk and exchange information, and we learn. And that's the thing about it. I think we're living in such a situation that's so polarized right now that people are not even open to do that. And it's almost like they're trying to make that divide stronger, So where we are.
It's not really hard to make the divide stronger in this country, just because when I watch the news sometime and I just feel like why white people like this, and I mean that in the most sincere way, and I mean that like I truly do. But when I sit here and I watch the news and there's people outside, like what Son's saying, like mad because they can't go to the park for a while or whatever, and it's like y'all protesting in the streets with guns, shooting them in the air, and I was like,
if it were a crowd of black people, it wouldn't be the same.
See, that's what blows my mind. I'm just like, are you watching this, or are we seeing the exact same thing that's happening? If it was black people that was out there doing that, it would have been all hell would have broke loose. To have guns in the street, shooting them in the air, that's a gang, a violent gang. They finna send the troops to the hood and try, guns out. The first person to point a gun or something, they get shot. Simple as that. They got
It's so
assault
not
rifles.
funny. I'm laughing because it's uncomfortably true. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so sad. And that's why I be like, it's no way when white people have friends like that and like family members like that, and they see that and then they watch the news and see something about black people and then still try and generalize us and put us in one group when they see family members who are crazy as shit and they know that just because that person is white, he's not white like me, or they know the difference. Like, I'm not like them, but they'll still put a whole nother race and
you can't take one person and blame it an entire species or race on that one person, but they do that. It's funny. There's a couple of memes, a couple of things that I've noticed too with this virus that has pushed to the forefront. First, I read an article about a Chinese actor who wrote, he wrote something, I don't remember his name, and probably good that I don't remember his name, but, and I'm going to paraphrase this, so don't quote me, but the article was basically about the fact that he was warning his Chinese people to remember the old days and stay with themselves, stay with your friends, be careful in the streets, because right now, because of the things, the inflammatory things that the president said about it being a Chinese virus, they were receiving hate. Yeah. You know, and in the article, the things that I was reading, it's like basically saying that our status as co-mingled people with white people and them accepting us has now changed. They no longer look at us as an equal. They now look at us as the enemy. And I was like, wow, the shoe's on somebody else's foot. You know what I mean? But this will pass and they will forget this. You know what I mean? But another thing that I read, a meme that I saw was somebody wrote something like having all of your rights taken away and people basing just because you're outside, they don't even know if you're sick or not. They just that you're outside without a mask. And then the meme was a black person in the middle of the crowd going, "Yeah, welcome to our world," you know. Like, I'm
saying it.
We've been going through
I
that.
lose words for it a lot of times. It's like just to see the things we see and have to hear the things we hear. Like growing up in Texas, like especially in a small town, and experience the things like you experience, and it's just like it doesn't even really make me mad anymore. It's like it's more respected as long as I'm not disrespected to somebody around me or that I love is disrespected. But then as I got older, it was like if they're disrespecting like somebody black in general, then they are disrespecting me. You know what I mean? So I just have a hard time because I do have white loved ones. I have white family members, you know, who married into my family and stuff. And I love
you can see on my skin, I have obviously white in my family, so I understand.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like my mom's like legal maiden name is O'Reilly. Like my brothers and stuff like it's O'Reilly. My grandma's O'Reilly. Like,
right.
We didn't get that from Africa. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like right. I'm not like against white people. I know there are a lot of good ones out there and stuff, but when I see some of the shit that's going on and you don't say anything, you stand by there, or you still go to a party with them and laugh it up or have dinner with them when you know like they're debasing a whole race for no reason based off the color of their skin or something like that. But then it gets me like, I feel like the world we must have been like a really great people back then because the world has like some type of vendetta against like Africans or black people.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what works. Propaganda works.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Advertising works.
But
media
why? No,
works. But they made a whole movie. You know, The Birth of a Nation. That movie.
Yeah.
That movie started it off. That movie was shown worldwide. People in China have seen it. People in Japan have seen it. Yeah, and they've seen it over a generation of years. They believe it.
But
they believe it. Did
this
you hear
is my point, though.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, even with that, like, of course they made the propaganda, but why go through the propaganda if they're trying to like suppress the people? I understand it's for money and they want us to think a certain type of way so they could keep the lower class people divided and stuff. But I'm talking about the original thing, like why choose black people in general? Like before you get to the propaganda, we still had like 200 years of, you know, like slavery.
We came from a continent filled with riches
But that's
strong
what I'm
men
saying,
and
though.
strong women,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
they looked at us as I think that we had a lot of knowledge and education and things that
I
we didn't
know it's not even think. It's
that
like
they wanted, right? But in order to get that, and I don't want to blame a whole race, so I don't know who started that in that race, but they wanted that, what do you call it? That I have to bring you down so I look powerful because I want to use you. You know what I mean? To me, anybody who wants to own any kind of slaves, they have to try to bring that mindset or brainwash the brain to make you think you are inferior. So first I'm gonna call you primitive because you don't have a building construction like we do. You don't live in huts or you don't.
nah, but see, but it's even way before that though.
Mm-hmm.
See, because here's my deal. Like Africans were already traveling around the globe and stuff way long before like European settlements and stuff like that. Where like the Moors had to go into Europe and bring like the Europeans out of uh what was that era called? Not the Black Plague. Well, that too pretty much helped save that. But what era was that in history? I can't think of it right now, but it'll come back to me. But the Moors had to go over there and pretty much bring them out of that or whatever. Had to teach them how not to sleep with livestock or eat with livestock.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they had to do all that. But then I also heard a story that the Moors tried to like kill off a lot of them too, like using like their sickness that they already had, like purposely like feeding them certain things or whatever, trying to kill them off. And I heard that's what started off. Like I've read in different places or whatever by different types of stories, but it wasn't confirmed. So, but I feel like
Definitely
even
think
if
we should
that's
do an episode or a series on the Moors.
yeah, but like even if that story wasn't true, I believe something like that happened or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And I just think that
Because I've heard, a lot of stories about the Moors too.
the Moors were dope, man. Like they were dope.
I've heard dope stories, and then I've heard less dope stories. I've heard the dope stories about how the Moors, moved around the world, but I also heard that Moors were part of the people that sold other Africans.
Yeah, that's true.
And
they
so
were,
that's.
but it wasn't like all of them. It was certain people within.
No,
it's like, you know
what I mean? It's like the slave
Africa.
traders. The slave traders are like, look, I'm a criminal. This business is lucrative. It's like the people who are sex traders, and they're out there.
Yeah, most
there are
definitely.
Black people who trade women, and white people who trade women, and Asian people, et cetera, et cetera. So in every race, you have your criminal element, as it were.
There are lots of Black girls around the world going missing, and that's because there are Black men involved in it. Like it's no other. It's just like the whole slavery thing. Ain't no Europeans coming to Africa. But ain't no Europeans coming to Africa and take over and just steal slaves. Like they didn't come in and dominate no country and just take slaves. Mm-hmm. They were welcomed in. Worked out some types of deals or whatever.
We're a loving people. We are a loving people, which is so crazy that we have the reputation for not being a loving people. We are such a loving and forgiving people. Look at how much we have been through, and still we want to open our arms and forgive and just be a part of society. We're not like
that. Shit makes me mad, but it's true.
But it's true because that's who we are at the nature of who we are. You know what I mean? I have some theories on that too. I have a friend from Mexico who's like, there's a sect in Mexico of Mexicans that believe they would prefer to die before becoming a slave or you taking them in captivity. So they, you try to take them, they're going to shoot you. And he says, and that's the difference. The ones he told me, he's like, the ones of you who got stolen, yeah, y'all, that's y'all fault. And I was like, how's that our fault? He says, because y'all didn't die. You either fight or die, but you don't go be a slave.
But that did happen though. Like
I know.
Over and over again.
So the ones who got away went to Haiti, and that's who Haiti became.
I ain't even talking about even them. The ones that got away, yeah. Some went to Haiti, some went to Africa and started that. What kind? Is it Libya?
Yeah.
They founded Libya, whatever, and stuff like that. But it was God dang it. What's his name? Well, anyway, forget his name. It was plenty of them just like I'll remember it and I'll put it in down in the description and stuff like
Yeah.
that because y'all should know his name. But it was a lot, it was lots of Nat Turners. Like it was lots of revolts. They don't
Yeah.
want you to know that in the history books it's not talked about or whatever, but there are lots of revolts. There were lots of slaves jumping off of ships like when they were trying to cross and drowning just like
And
that.
so the ones that they pulled back, I feel like are the ones who were defeated in soul and spirit.
They were hungry and weak. Like they would,
Yeah.
those ships were starved in horrible conditions, dying of sickness. Like by the time they got over here and got to land, like trying to fight, and then your family's taken away from you all alone.
You've been
singled out,
depleted. You've
and
been depleted.
everybody's like of course, but it's like for folks to just think it was only certain little pockets here and there that were small revolts, like some black people tried to fight back, but for the majority, no, we've always been fighting. Like we've always been yes, we're loving and we're kind, but we're also fighters, like to the core. So if from our countries and homelands, from our kings and queens of the past, and it was a lot more just regular people than kings and queens. It was scientists and doctors and everything. Like we brought science and math and all of that to the world. So
Still do.
that's why, we're like the chosen people and we got to go through this for whatever reason.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah.
You know what, Mansa? We're way over our hour, so I'm gonna get to the end of this. But I am in this conversation though. We have brought up at least 3 or 4 topics that I just want to revisit and dive into with some research behind it, and have King also, so that the 3 of us can dialogue about it. So.
Sure.
Let's pick a book that you wanna study, and let's work on.
I don't know if we want King IU on here, man, because that boy, if I'm radical, he like the super extreme version of radical than me. Like he like 5 of me in one. Like he's super radical.
Yeah, but I'm like the vanilla, not radical. So I'll just be the cushion in between.
I'm down. I'm just warning you. Like I don't know how.
Just tell them don't hurt my feelings.
You want your fans like to watch or whatever, but just know if we broach the subject, he ain't gonna hold back. Like that.
Yeah, well, I'm interested. Like I said, we can do those, edit it and how you want. But I'm really curious. There's a lot of subjects that I would like to dive into a little more deeper. So.
Oh yeah, definitely same here. But ma'am,
especially. Yes, especially the copyrights, especially there's so many.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to look that up because I need to know that type of stuff, and I should know it. So everybody out there listening, I'm going to get that information for you. But Miss Song, OcSong, I'm sorry.
OcSong, like an oak tree.
It's oak?
Yes. It's pronounced O-A-K. Mm-hmm.
But there's no K on it.
I know. It's Japanese, man.
Oh, okay. So, but it's pronounced with a K. I got it now. OcSong. I've been calling her a song since I've known her. So yeah.
It's my bad because I had to make the transition. If you look for song on the internet, you're not gonna find me. I'm on page 30 of Google. You're gonna find everything about song. So I had to put my whole government name, which is OcSong. And some people are like,
OcSong is your real name?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's dope.
That's why Song is just a short version of OcSong. That's how I got called.
I always thought you just called yourself Song because you like to sing or so.
No,
or you are a singer. Yeah, that's dope.
And OcSong is Japanese and it means wife.
It means wife?
Yes.
Your parents named you to be married off rip?
My mother's best friend, her name is OcSong, and it was wife, so she named me after her.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, Miss OcSong, I appreciate you for joining me. Tell the people where they can find you on your social media. It'll be in the description.
You know what? If you write OcSong into Google, something will pop up, and then you can find me.
Okay.
Find me on. I do the indie vlogs on YouTube under OcSong, TheSoulSinger. But if you just put OcSong in, there's not that many people named OcSong, so.
Not that many people named OcSong.
Yeah,
that's a fact. But Fact Jack. All right. Well, people, I appreciate y'all for joining me again. This is Rob Brilliance. I'm your boy Mansa JK. Y'all know my social media is Mansa _JK on everything. IG, Twitter, Facebook. I appreciate y'all for joining me. We out.
We out.